Hello and welcome back to my journey of completing 100% of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak before Wilds comes out. I quickly wanted to thank you guys for the positive feedback and nice comments I got in the last video, I really appreciate it. Last time we completed all the low rank quests and next is high rank, but before that it's time for a small intermission. In the interest of time, I decided to unlock all subcamps before we go to higher rank so we can quickly teleport to the monsters. While I was doing that, I also collected all of the relic records hidden in different locales, which contain some general lore. When Rise came out I looked for all of them myself, but this time I just used a guide, which made them pretty easy to find. After that I made sure to complete some of the side quests we've been getting so far, which include collecting some materials from these special nodes to unlock a second submarine, as well as unlocking new weapon blueprints. For one of these I had to take a picture of a sleeping Azurus, and because it wouldn't eat the sleep meat, I quickly switched the bow and hit it with a few sleep coatings until I fell asleep. I also completed my first high rank quest with 2 Kulu Yakus for Dango ingredients. After that I crafted a piece of high rank chainmail armor to get a rank of the guard skill, which reduces knockback and stamina consumption when you block, and then I started with a 4-star key quest. First up was Grady Zuchi, where I took a picture of a Bombachi exploding for another side quest before quickly bullying Grady Zuchi and completing our first key quest of 5. After the quest I crafted some shock traps and included them and some trank bombs in a loader to capture future monsters if possible to shave some minutes off our hunts. For the village quest from the last video it didn't really matter since the monster HP was so low, but it makes a real difference for the hub quests. Next up I decided to hunt an Agnosome since it's a monster I really enjoy fighting. It's just a very honest monster in my opinion. There's nothing crazy and it's very satisfying to hunt. Now that we're in high rank, monsters attack a bit quicker, which means the constant parrying and blocking sounds are even more satisfying. I believe the monsters also get 1 or 2 new moves, but we'll talk about those later in mastering since they're more obvious there. For now, I take Agnosome down and continue with Tetranodon. I don't want to spend too much time on monsters we fought before, but watching the footage of this hunt back made me realize how much more confident I am with the lands at this point. To the point where I have practically a 100% damage uptime now, with counters, pokes, evades and readjusting moves all intertwined. When I started playing lands, the weapon honestly felt super clunky, but now I feel like I'm dancing around the monster just like when I'm playing bow. For our next target, it's time to hunt a Kezu. I always really struggle against it for no real reason. I just get hit with the electricity a lot and the constant screams are pretty annoying. Overall, one of my least favorite monsters to fight, but since you can block both of those, this fight went way better than it usually does for me. For our last 4-star key quest, I fight another Lagombi. In the beginning of high rank you fight very familiar monsters, but luckily later on it's mostly just new monsters we haven't fought yet. Lagombi's small hitbox and high mobility are still very annoying to deal with, but apart from running away it still doesn't really do anything, so it goes down quickly. For the 5-star urgent quest we need to take down a Uratudos. I keep poking it until it buries itself, then I just keep holding block, and then I resume poking it. Nothing really special. When it tries to hip check me or spins around I quickly block or counter and then I keep poking it. When you look at my stamina meter while I block, you might notice that it takes a lot of stamina to block these relatively small hits. Luckily the guard skill reduces that stamina drain, so we're gonna pick the skill up later with some armor. We upgrade our lance as a reward for reaching a 5-star quest and finally get blue sharpness, which gets extended a bit because of the handicraft skill I currently have equipped. Before tackling the key quest, I start one of the quests you get from Mutsushi to unlock new switch skills. In this quest I need to capture a Rathian to unlock the new skill Spiral Thrust, which is very strong and will definitely come in handy. It has a built-in counter that powers up your lance when you hit it, and also does 3 hits with an insanely high motion value, resulting in a ton of damage. Plus it covers a great distance, which makes it a good repositioning and chasing tool. Overall, this is our best Silkbind skill for base rise, and that's why I pick it up as early as possible. After the quest I look at all the high rank armor I've unlocked this far and notice that the Juratudos armor has the skill Offensive Guard, which increases our attack power after guarding. And since I'm guarding practically all the time, this is just a flat damage increase, so I craft the helmet since I have enough materials for it and don't have to hunt another Uratudos for it. Over the course of this video we'll slowly but surely get rid of the defender armor to get more offensive and useful skills, because high rank armor has roughly the same defense as the defender gear when upgraded, and also has sockets to slot in some decorations, unlike the defender gear. Our first 5-star key quest is against the Basarios. Normally it's pretty annoying to fight because its skin is so hard, but when it enrages it becomes super vulnerable, and this time Basarios was basically permanently enraged, so it was a really comfortable fight. Next up is another Royal Ludrov. Nothing much changed from last time apart from me trying out Spiral Thrust a bit, but overall it was a very quick and easy fight. Next up is my favorite monster Pokke. It was a very easy hunt since you can just guard events through the poison without getting hit. But just look at this cute little goober and his ridiculously long tongue, I love him so much. Afterwards, we have to hunt another Bisharten, which was very fun to dodge with Spiral Thrust. We'll soon get to the new monsters, I promise. In the lottery after the quest I won another one of the special figurines, so I'm very happy about it. There are 24 in total and so far we have gotten 3 of them, namely the Kamura twins, the mini Toad Vasari and now the Crystal Cluster. So we still have a long way to go. For our last key quest I hunt yet another Rathian since he is very satisfying to fight, but I'll definitely spare that one. Let's talk about the 6-star urgent quest instead. we have to take down a Mizutsune for that one. And while I kinda struggled against it last time, this time I didn't get bubble blighted at all, and I also got a satisfying stun with shield tackle. I switched to it instead of dash attack again since the automatic blocking while advancing is very comfortable, and I have spiral thrust for longer distances now. Beating Mizu unlocks the key quest, and so I go and take down another Rathalos, but this time I made sure to capture it for one of the subquests we've had since low rank. Our next target is a Somnicant. In high rank it gets 2 gigantic sleep AoEs that are pretty hard to avoid even with Spiral Thrust, so I get hit with it once or twice, but ultimately this monster is still a pushover and still does not have the same power level as the other ones in this rank in my opinion. And since I'm already sounding like a broken record from the last video, here's another Xenogo compilation from the next quest. Beating half the 6-star key quest unlocks the next urgent quest, where we have to fight the Wind Serpent Ibushi. Sadly, it's a rampage quest. But at least I found an online lobby to quickly take care of it, and this time it went so well that I got an S rank, which gives us even more rewards. Unfortunately, we need 2 Ibushi claws to upgrade our power charm and armor charm to their respective talent versions, and I got exactly 0 claws from doing that quest. So I quickly do it again and get exactly 2 claws this time. Upgrade the charms, buy new charms, and put all 4 of these items in a loadout since they all stack. With my newly boosted sets, which are +9 for both by the way, I quickly hunt down Tobikadachi and Anjanath, the latter of which gets absolutely bullied by Spiral Thrust. For the 7-star urgent quest we unfortunately have to fight against Ragnar Kadaki. As an Arachnophobe I absolutely hate this monster, and when Rise came out and I saw it for the first time, I genuinely could not fight it because I was so disgusted by it. Over the years I got used to it, and now it just mildly creeps me out. For the fight I mainly focused on breaking the web on its legs to get free knockdowns, and that was pretty much it. After the quest, we unlock a new and actually useful melding pod, so I smelled for weakness exploit since we're constantly needing weak points anyway, but I got exactly 0 talismans with it in all of my remaining footage. Before tackling the final star rank, here's the small intermission of me fishing all the fish in this game to get the Deft Hand Rod achievement. It's honestly pretty easy and quick to get, since all fish can just be caught in either the Shrine Ruins or the Lava Caverns with no special requirements. For the remaining monsters starting from now on, I will start the quest by drinking both a Mega Demon Drug and a Mega Almond Skin for buffed stats. It's honestly pretty unnecessary for now, but I just wanted to get into the habit of doing it for Master Rank later. I like using those even though they are very expensive, since the buffs are lasting until you faint, so you don't have to constantly refresh them mid-hunt. For the first hunt, we're tackling a Diablos. The burrowing attack is easily blocked by just holding shield, and because Diablos attacks very frequently, I have constant uptime on offensive guard, which further boosts my attack, so Diablos goes down insanely quick. After the quest, I check its armor and see that it's absolutely perfect for us, since it gives us massive levels of guard, offensive guard, and also stamina surge to recover stamina quicker. I end up crafting the waist and quickly take down another one, making sure to break its horn again to craft the chest and legs as well. Together with our Jurotulas helmet, we now have 4 levels of guard and 3 levels of offensive guard, as well as a level in both constitution and stamina surge for some comfort. With our new armor, nothing can stop us, so I take on a Magnamalo without drinking my buffs, watch a turf war with Basil Geese, and get my first card so far when Magnamalo uses its ultimate attack because I wirefought like an idiot. I think if I had just guarded the move I would have been completely fine, but oh well. I almost made it to master rank without carding. Keep in mind that I have normal high rank gear equipped now, so I actually take normal damage again. But this was a good lesson on just trusting my shield more, since I still have that urge to evade sometimes. But Lance just cannot do that, it needs to block instead. Our next target is a Rajang, and this is actually the monster I respect the most, since it's just so fast and packs such a hard punch, so fighting it is always very exciting. I end up playing pretty slow and holding block a lot, and only attack when I feel safe. When Rajang enrages, I only go for the tail to break it to get it out of the enraged state quicker. My blocking strat works for the most part, since I have guard 4 now, which massively cuts down the stamina cost to block, but Rajang's grab actually goes through normal block and needs to be countered to prevent him grabbing you. I also learned that you cannot even power guard its laser beam at all before capturing it with a pitfall trap. Originally, I thought you could not capture Rajang with shock traps, but while writing the script I learned that the type of trap you can use depends on Rajang's mode. Pitfall only for enraged mode and shock only for default mode. Next up is the most honest monster of them all, Tigrex. It legitimately only has like 4 moves and keeps spamming the run, so I hold block, poke a bit and then keep holding block. This fight was extremely boring, but Tigrex still deals insane damage, so I kind of felt forced to play this way. Overall, the fight was basically sleep-inducingly easy, but it just took a while. I sort of didn't pay attention since I was zoning out during the fight, so I accidentally slayed it instead of capturing it. The last key quest of this video is either between an Almudron or a Gossarak. I hate both of these monsters equally, but I went with Gossarak to have some more diversity. I'm super glad I did because I actually had a blast fighting it for the first time. The ice weapons had such a satisfying sound effect when hitting them that I completely forgot about. And it didn't move at all, so we both kept attacking the entire time and I got into a nice rhythm of blocking and attacking. Plus, you can power guard through its beam, which took me a bit to figure out since you couldn't block Rajang's beam, so I thought it would be the same this time, but it wasn't. Taking down Gossarak completes all the required key quests and unlocks our final urgent quest of this video. Serpent Goddess of Thunder, where we have to take down Thunder Serpent Nawa. Since I knew how absolutely boring this quest is, I tried to hop online for it, but I found absolutely zero lobbies and nobody jumped my quest either. So I took on Nawa by myself. The entire fight was basically me running around to not get hit by Nawa's attacks until a ballista, cannon or machine gun fell down, and then I used that to shoot Nawa's belly to detonate its weak spots for some juicy damage. There are parts where you can hit Nawa directly, but since Lance doesn't do that much burst damage, I was basically stuck just waiting for new stuff to spawn. This quest took an agonizing 21 minutes of waiting to finish, and I tried to end my suffering by jumping in the hole Nawa made, but the game simply wouldn't let me. Base Rise really has a horrible and boring final boss, but at least Sunbreak fixed that, which we will get to in the next video. Beating Nawa unlocks a hunter rank, which you will have to get to 999 eventually. We also unlock the Daimyo Hermitor hunt, and while it is technically a high rank hunt, I will disregard it for today since it's the first quest of Sunbreak, so it makes more sense to do all of that in one video. So thank you very much for watching and make sure to subscribe to not miss the next part of the series.